Igor, you happy? All right, Kyle, you set?
Set.
Art, good? Here we go, rolling.
Camera was speed in here.
Mark it.
Take one.
Okay.
All right, stand by. And action.
Hey guys, it's James and Steve again. We're back with another how-to series.
This time we're shooting with one camera. We're working with the Alexa Mini, which is kind of the industry standard for narrative pieces.
AJ, take 3. For the next 2 days, we'll be shooting on location, 4 different spots, an apartment, an office, a loft, a bar, and we're gonna take you kind of through the process and show you how we do it.
Everybody set? All right, let's roll it.
2A, take 1.
My name is Igor Kropotov. I'm a director of photography. I live here in New York. We're going to be shooting this project called Pend. We're going to be shooting on the Alexa Mini in 3.2K ProRes 4444 XQ and with anamorphic glass. We'll be shooting in log C, and shooting log C gives us the flattest image for the most dynamic range. The Alexa is, the best camera on the market, so it's my always go-to.
It's a smaller, lightweight body with the same sensor, same color science, same look and ultimate control that you get from the larger Alexa packages, but it's kind of like wrapped up into a smaller package.
7A, take 3.
Stand by. Some of the things you do sacrifice with that is like onboard monitor systems and menu systems that you can get in easily from like on the XT or the original Alexa Classic. You can get on the dummy side, so what they call it, of the camera for the AC side. So if I'm operating on the other side is all the menu settings so my assistant can operate and change things as we go. You lose that with the Mini, but it does have a detachable menu setting that you can use, and also you can use your smartphone to directly connect to its system and change all of its settings. The Alexa Mini shoots many different frame rates and resolutions, and you can choose to use different parts of the sensor, and those give you different options for frame rates once you choose those. You can shoot 16:9, which is the normal video size, or you can do 4:3, which increases the vertical area on the sensor. That's good for anamorphic or spherical lenses if you want to be able to move the image up or down in post. Or you can shoot open gate, which uses the whole sensor and sometimes even goes past what the lens can see on the back of the lens. In 16:9 mode ProRes, you can shoot up to 200 frames per second up to 2K. Once you cross that 2K threshold to 4K and 3.2K, it's 60 frames per second is where it tops out. Now, if you're also in 16:9 but shooting Arri RAW, so you want the most color available to you, you can limit out at 48 frames per second. In 4:3 mode, that's 2.8K, you're limited to 50 frames per second. And in open gate, Arri RAW, you're limited to 30 frames per second at 3.4K. One Apple, take 1, marker.
Shooting in New York, you're very limited by the spaces that you're working in, and the choice to shoot anamorphic allows us to open up those spaces in a more cinematic way.
And cut, coming back. In the camera, the Alexa Mini can record different types of codecs. The biggest, most robust codec being the Arri RAW codec. It's amazing, has a lot of color power, but is the slowest and hardest to work with. One step down from that is the ProRes 4444 XQ, which allows the most color data of any of the ProRes codecs. Next is 4444, which is a very common codec, 422 HQ, 422, and all the way down to 422 LT. So we're gonna do 4444 XQ. It gives you a lot of power in post, but you can still play it back in a Finder window. You don't have to have this special Arri RAW converter. 444 XQ in our world is gonna open up, play right on the laptop, or that we're gonna capture on, so it's super easy and fast for us to work with. We're shooting like direct sunlight outside, and that's very hard to compete with, meaning we have to bring the exposure level up to where we want it inside to match outside, or it just blows away on the outside. Now the Alexa also helps us out because it loves light. So we put it in, like we can point it at the sky and know that we have within there details still in the highlights. And one of the things we use, hey Igor, could you turn on false color for a sec? Do you mind if I just look at it? That was motorized NDs. They also have motorized NDs. So false color from Arri is one of my favorite things, one of the features from them, and it's a super accurate exposure meter. So if you see this right here, that means the right side of his face is exactly 50% gray, anything that shows up green. And as you roll the aperture up and down, you can see bits that are a little bit over, a little bit under, but it is a super accurate guide. Pink is like right on exposure for, you know, Caucasian skin in most cases. But what you don't see, and what is awesome in here, is you're looking for blues, purples, yellows, and reds. Things that are totally underexposed, the cooler tones, so you're losing detail. If it's purple or if it's red and yellow, at the top you're almost out of detail. If it's yellow, and red is 100%. So if you look at the false color, anything that's red is gone. And you can see, even though we're shooting in direct sunlight, we've exposed exactly where we want, like high key with a contrast. So we're going just under 50% gray on the fill side of the light, but the key is right at 65 IRE, so it has that high key feel. The background, still not even touching yellow. It's more like 85 IRE. So if you're thinking about it just as a percentage, it's 85% of the way to gone, to lost, right? And that's what we were going for. Great, let's cut. I'm gonna do it one more time. The Alexa Mini is small enough also that handheld work. At the end of the day, she has this fury right in the last scene where she's starting to lose control, and we were able to go handheld and really get that extra feel that we hadn't shown before in the piece, and that's something that's also very advantageous about the Alexa Mini. Overall, it was a very successful shoot, and I hope you learned something about how to work with the Alexa Mini.